you might need to slow down. And I know that might be really, really hard to hear, but the thing that you're working towards, the thing that you want, might not require you to be full throttle. It might require you to change your pace. And a lesson and experience I've personally been going through, and something that I've been learning, is learning when to slow things down and adjust the pace. So in today's video, I'll talk you through it. What is slowing down? What is changing pace? And why is it important? Hi, I'm Mercy. I'm an athlete, a student, a consultant, so many different umbrellas and hats. And if you have been paying attention to my YouTube banner, I've titled myself a multipotentialite. And that is someone with multiple passions and interests and has a specialty across all of them as well. And I'll be doing a video on what that is and how I balance out being a multipotentialite, because it was something that I was definitely trying to fight. But after learning and understanding that this is the way I enjoy working, reading some books, I've got an amazing book recommendation that I will talk about in that video as well. I realized that you can do it all, but one thing that you're gonna have to be mindful of is, when do you ramp up the pace and when do you slow down? Because oftentimes in the moments where you're balancing loads of different hats and loads of different plates, it will require you to decide that, okay, this just needs a minute to just cool off, or maybe we can slow down with this, maybe we could up it with this. And that is what's going to allow you to be successful across the board in all of the things that you're doing. They're saying you can't have it all, but you can. It's just the pace. So let's tap in. Now, when I'm saying slow down, oftentimes when we're pursuing something, we're going really, really hard. We are sprinting as fast as we are. We're going at gazelle intensity. And it is really intense, for lack of a better term. And what that is doing, it is wearing out your energy, your resources, and burning you out. And that's where you're finding that you're having these moments and roller coasters or slumps where you're like really, really passionate, really, really aggressive, really, really intense. And then you're just like, oh, I need a break. Oh, I need to breathe. Oh, I need a moment. And that's because you haven't regulated your pace. And imagine if you're doing that with 4 to 5 different things. You're gonna become tired, you're gonna require longer breaks, and you're gonna have to require stops. And although breaks are necessary, stops are necessary, stops are not momentum, they're freezes. And what you want to avoid, especially when you're building and developing different things, skills, talents, passion projects, whatever the case might be, you want to minimize the stops by utilizing and optimizing the pace. One thing for me, especially as you may have noticed, is that I'm a big, big advocate for take a break, have a rest, have a Kit Kat, do what you need to do. But as much as that may look like a complete stop, oftentimes for me that means a slowdown of pace. It means that in my balancing of priorities, there's something that may need a higher focus or intensity, which means that I need to bring down that energy from somewhere else. And what you'll find is that people are not realizing how you can adjust that. They are thinking, this needs more energy, so I'll just ramp up the energy. But if we're looking at an analogy of maybe a glass of water or several glasses of water, you need to know when to top up the glass and when to take it out of another glass. Another good illustration is you can't pour from an empty cup. And sometimes you're trying to borrow energy and borrow momentum and borrow intensity from an empty cup, where the optimization of that is just simply adjust everything else. Now, what is the practical steps and solutions to achieving this, and why is it so important? It is important because you want to make sure that you are still making forward momentum. And I hope that's the right way to say it. You want to make sure that you are still moving forward even when you take your foot off the gas. So it's almost like a creeping motion. You know, when cars just kind of creep forward a little bit, creep forward a little bit, that is still progress. So you want to get into creeping forward versus parking up. And that is what's going to get you to what you are looking for. Because if you're currently stuck with, I do so many things and I'm not getting the result that I want, and I'm not living the life that I want, and I don't have the things that I want, I challenge you to look at your priorities, because it will indicate to you where you are being drained, where you're being energized, where you are lacking in effort in some instances, and where you need to put more effort. So, practical solution, I'm gonna bring you back to this concept every single time. It's so simplistic, it is so easy, and it is the best way to do it. You need to get a mind map. You need to get a big piece of paper, whatever tickles your fancy. Maybe you wanna do it on Canva or something like that, and put your name in the middle and write off all the things that you do. This has been such a useful exercise for me because sometimes I lose track of all the things that I'm doing. There are so many things that are going on, and sometimes I'm just like, what is it that I actually do? And the mind map helps you to understand what is it you're doing and what it is you're in commitment with right now. And when you've done that, you need to then write out your priorities and look at your 3 to 5 year plan. So recently, I've been challenged with the idea that not everything that is brought to me aligns with me. So therefore I have to say no in this instance, but maybe in the future I might say yes. Because wearing these many hats and having these different passions means that it's very, very easy to add something else to it. And what you want to do is recognize when to add, when to stop. And for me, right now, I'm in the season of adjusting my pace versus taking on more. And the mind map and knowing what you do, knowing where you sit, knowing where your passions are is really, really important, because at any given point you can recognize, where do I need to ramp up and where do I need to ramp down? So for example, for me, I know that right now I'm ramping down my PhD and taking that abeyance and having a slower pace, still reading, still doing things, but I'm at a slower pace here because I have to ramp up my commitments with work and with client work as well. So that's a change of pace, but it's not a lack of progress. I'm still making that forward movement. I'm still working towards my wider goal. But then additionally, I may be offered a business opportunity, and I don't mean more client work, I mean a business venture. And I have to look at my mind map. I have to see, does it fit with anything that I'm currently doing? Okay, the answer might be yes or no. Does it fit with the 3 to 5 year plan that I've set out for myself to achieve very specific and clear goals? And if the answer is no, I say no, because again, I can't pour from that empty cup. I need to make sure I'm refreshing, refilling, and having all the tools that I need to continue with the things that I have existing at the moment. The next thing you have to do is knowing when to let certain things go. And you're probably thinking, but Mercy, you said this was about pace. Yeah, but we're still talking about energy, and we're still talking about the fact that you have to take from somewhere else to give to something else. And part of knowing when to slow down is also knowing when to switch something off. And I'm no stranger to going, this has had its season and this has been incredible, but it is time to switch it off. And I believe that in some instances, especially when you're being a multi-potentialite, it's very, very easy to go, yes, I can do it all, I want to do it all, I want to do it all forever. But sometimes, especially when you're looking at next stage, next steps, something might have to give temporarily, or something might have to go permanently. And that is completely okay. And that does tie into slowing down, because you also have to be aware about how you bring things to an end and how you then move that newfound energy into new things as well. So knowing when to stop is really, really important. And the final piece is be okay with pace change. It is so easy to feel like slowing down is an act of failure or an act of like not being successful. But the mindset around slowing down is what's going to help you to get to that next stage, because you need to recognize it for what it is, a pace change. It is not failure, it is not stopping, it is not quitting, which is what your mind might tell you. It is an opportunity to reflect, rescope, rework, refresh, and get back to it. And your mindset in that moment is really, really important, because either it will encourage you or it will demotivate you. And what you want is that the optimization of your energy to energize you, to motivate you, to encourage you to know that, okay, I'm slowing down here so that I can ramp up here to get to this and exceed the expectations of this and experience the success of this. And you have to first in your mind go, I'm okay with adjusting the pace. This is not a reflection of success or failure. It's a reflection of wisdom and optimization. It's a reflection of efficiency and priorities. Those are the things that you want to speak into that situation as well. So use that mind map, get everything down on paper and know exactly what it is, where your energy is going and what you are doing. Get clear on what needs to go, what needs to stay. Get focused on your alignment, what aligns and what doesn't align, and really address your mindset to ensure that you can get to the goal and the life that you want. So if you feel like this video blessed you, make sure you share it with a friend, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video, and we will be talking about what is a multi-potentialite. Yeah. All right then, be blessed.